called My Funniest High Stories. Because, why not?
This video was sponsored by Manscaped. Look, I know sparking up can sometimes lead to paranoid moments or weird situations. But
Absolutely.
sometimes smoking up can also lead to uncontrollable laughter. So here's
Absolutely.
one of the funniest moments that I can recall from my career, if you want to call it that. So this is a banger of a story, but it's a little on the debaucherous side. I can't say
I think
I'm
I saw that 5 Stages video before. Yeah, no, it was a good video. It was funny. It was funny. It was really funny.
this
It's a good
moment,
video.
and I definitely cannot condone this behavior, but this is what happened.
Do not
so
try
this story
this.
takes place a few years ago at a New Year's party at my friend's house. And like any New Year's party, there was at least 2 people blacked out on the couch by 10 p.m.
Yup.
A couple of dudes are playing Edward 40 Hands,
Yup.
and everyone's generally having a good time. But for some reason, there was a bowl of Cocoa Puffs on the dining room table with no milk in it. I guess someone poured themselves a bowl of cereal and then realized there was no milk in the fridge. So a dry bowl of Cocoa
That's like the worst. That's the worst, bro. Especially when you're fried. Oh my god, bro. I can't tell you how many times I poured a bowl of cereal when I'm fried. And I go in the fridge and there's no goddamn milk. It fucks up my whole mood, bro. Especially because I be eating Cinnamon Toast Crunch the most. And that shit hits every single time when I'm fried. So when I pour that bowl and I see that there's no cereal in the milk, Jesus Christ, I can't talk. When I see that there's no milk in the fridge, it fucks up my whole mood, bro. My whole mood. It's like I was really looking forward to that shit, bro.
was just chilling on the table all night. Remember that, because I'll get back to that in a moment.
Remember
so as
that.
the night
Cocoa
goes
Puffs
on,
on the
people
table.
are slowly dropping like flies, leaving only the true cavemen left by the end of the night. So the party's kind of died down by now, and so all the homies
Goat
decide to
cereal,
spot up in the
absolutely.
living
Cinnamon
room.
Toast Crunch is the goat cereal, absolutely. Shit is gas. Or Fruity Pebbles, because Fruity Pebbles does smack. But Cinnamon Toast Crunch will always be my go-to cereal, absolutely.
A little bong sesh. So we're passing it around, having a good time, cracking jokes, the usual. Then the bong gets passed to one of my friends. A friend who is known for taking jokes too far. Like, way too far, but in a funny way. You'll see what I mean in a second. So he takes the bong, and keep in mind, we are absolutely blasted. We've hotboxed the whole living room, we've been drinking, it's New Year's, and we got some smooth jazz playing in the background. Cause vibes and shit. So anyway, my friend...
Smooth jazz while you're crossfaded. Oh my, I can imagine the vibes, bro, because music hits so much different. That's crazy. That's hilarious, bro. Because the gas, bro. Cinnamon Toast Crunch and Fruity Pebbles are fire, bro. Absolutely, bro. It doesn't matter what time of the day. It doesn't matter, bro. Those shits will always hit. Always.
Takes the bong, and he looks over at the bowl of Cocoa Puffs on the table. And we all notice him looking. And he's making this funny, suspicious face, and we start cracking up. We all know what he's thinking, but there's no way he's gonna do what we think he's gonna do. Nope, no way. But he reaches over to the bowl and he grabs a single Cocoa Puff. We keep laughing. There's no possible way he's gonna do this. But then he places the Cocoa Puff in the bowl. Anticipation intensifies. He flicks the lighter and brings the flame up to the bowl. He's gonna stop at any moment, and we'll all laugh it off as a funny joke. But then he starts inhaling. It has to be some type of prank. There's no way he's actually going to inhale and blow out smoke. And he pulls the bong away. We are bursting at the seams. We've never seen anything like this.
What the
and
fuck?
Then he blows out a fat cloud of Cocoa Puff smoke. Jazz music stops. The crowd goes wild. We erupt with laughter. And then he passes the bong. And we each take turns smoking a Cocoa Puff. It honestly probably took like 10 years off my life. Don't do this. It's not safe or healthy. Anytime I get a cold or sick nowadays, I blame it on that one time I smoked Cocoa Puffs.
Smoking
if I
Cocoa
randomly
Puffs
die
is
in
crazy.
a few years, it honestly probably had something to do with this night. And then the next day I make a tweet. Man, everybody was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs last night, and it was my most fire tweet. Everyone from school is commenting shit like, haha, sound like a crazy party, but what they don't know is that We
They literally smoked some Cocoa Puffs.
And honestly, there's just no better example of the phrase, just guys being dudes. Anyways,
Nah, literally.
today's episode is sponsored
Because
by
who even
Manscaped.
thinks about that?
If you don't have a personal hygiene routine
who
now,
even thinks about taking a Cocoa Puff and smoking that shit, especially in a bong? Is the rest of this an ad? Yeah, it is. Okay. The rest of it's an ad. Okay, so that's the end of the video. The rest of it's an ad. Like, what was what was there to gain from smoking a cocoa? I have no idea. I couldn't tell you, but you know, he did it. And you know, I don't know. I wish he would have mentioned if it did something though, like what it tasted like. Cause like, what the fuck? How even? And the fact that he got smoke out of that too. I don't know if there was some weed left in the bowl when he hit it, but if there wasn't, and it was just a straight Cocoa Puff, how did he get smoke out of that? How was that possible? You know what I'm saying? But yeah. All right, another video by him. Weird things my dad would tell me. You know, I really didn't have anything weird that you know my dad or stepdad told me, but you know, yeah. Weird things my dad would tell me.
So my dad is a pretty funny guy, and he's always either telling me these random facts about various topics.
Foxes are cat software running on dog hardware. Foxes are cat software running on dog hardware. I mean, I could see where you're going with that. Yeah, makes sense.
We're trying to give me some weird
Never
life advice.
eat a banana while laying down. That's homo. No homo.
Or sometimes when I was a kid,
one time I ate the Queen of England's ass. That's just a fire quote.
Make stuff up just to mess with me. So I'm going to tell you about a few of those things.
Never jump into rivers.
So ever since I was a little kid, I was always doing dangerous stuff like climbing redwood trees and going off rope swings into the river and stuff like that. And anytime I would have plans to go to the river or a lake, my dad would always tell me about his buddy Pete from back in England. He'd say something like, "Never jump into a river. Back when I was your age, back in England, my mate Pete jumped into a river, but he didn't check the water before he jumped, and there was a tree in the water. Tree branch went up his bum, broke his back. Pete never walked again. Anyway, have fun, mate."
Sounds like a good time. Tree up the bum. If I jump in a river and it means I might get a tree up the bum, I'm jumping in every river I see. You know what I'm saying? A tree up the bum. That sounds like a good ass time. You know what I'm saying?
Honestly, I'm pretty sure my dad made that story up just to scare me into not jumping into rivers or lakes.
How to stay fit.
So I've heard stories from some people about how when they were kids, their dads would always be telling them to stop fidgeting. And I cannot relate, because my dad would say the exact opposite. And he'd always be like, "You want to know how I stay fit? I fidget. I'm always shaking my legs or tapping my fingers. And throughout the day, that adds up to a whole workout." And honestly, I think he might be onto
fidget a
something.
lot. I wouldn't necessarily like say fidget, but like, you know, I'm always playing with something. Like right now, I'm playing with my fucking chin hair. Like I'm always like playing with something or like touching something. You know what I'm saying? I don't fidget a lot.
One time when I was really little,
Dicks
like
grow in
around
the
5 years
garden?
old probably,
Huh?
somehow or another, I was talking to my dad about penises. You know, as father and son do. And quite frankly, I was kind of pissed that my penis was so small. And I asked my dad, "How do I get a bigger penis?" And he goes, "Well, you just have to pick one out the garden." And I'm like, "What?" "They dead ass grow in the garden."
They dead
He's
ass
like,
grow
"Yeah,
in the garden.
Your mom's got a whole patch in the backyard. You just have to go out there and pick a bigger one." And so, with no understanding of really how anything in the world worked, I went to the backyard to look for a bigger penis. And I don't remember much about the situation after that, so I figure I just didn't find any dicks in the garden, and then I just gave up. Meanwhile, my dad was in the house, just sitting there, fidgeting and chuckling to himself over tricking a goddamn 5-year-old into looking for dicks in a garden.
It's crazy, diabolical. I'm
My
trying to
dad
go to
would
that. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to go to that garden.
Brag about
Real
how he's
shit.
never done any drugs besides, you know, drink alcohol. He'd always be going on about how weed makes you a lazy person and
That's a
blah,
lie.
blah, blah.
That's
I'm too
a
lazy to
damn
remember the
lie.
rest of whatever the fuck else he said.
That's a
But
lie.
the funny thing is, my mom smokes weed, and she told me that one time before I was born,
Weed is very productive. Sort of, kind of. Well, it can be. Like, I'll be smoking, and, like, I'll get to the point of high where I, like, have all these ideas in my head, and I'm so motivated to do them, But then I'll keep smoking, and then I'll get to the point of high where I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna go home and eat my whole fridge. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes, when you smoke, you can just bring out like that creative side of you. You know what I'm saying? Because like half of our favorite rappers are on some shit, and look at the shit they're putting out. We love it. We love the shit they're putting out, and half the time they are gone off the shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's a lie. Weed just does not make you a loser. It does not make you lazy.
Into some pasta she made, and my dad got kind of high. Now, I think nothing crazy happened, and she told him afterwards. But I
put weed in
cannot
the
imagine this
pasta.
dude high. Dude's fidgeting would be kicked into overdrive. Anyways, I gotta
That'd be
run. There's a
crazy.
farmer's market going on downtown, and I'm looking to pick me a big one today, boys. Wish me luck.
Good luck. Well, I mean, nah, this was like months ago, so like hope you got what you got. It depends. Like I feel like if you're already lazy, it'll just enhance that, like make you lazy. No, no, no. I feel that. I feel that. Yeah, I feel like if you're already lazy, like weed could increase that. But like for me, like I'm a creative person. Like I'm not necessarily like lazy. Like I have been lazy. Like this streaming shit has been something I wanted to do for a minute, but I was just like lazy with it and didn't really like go for it. You know, but it wasn't necessarily like I was lazy. I just kept like I guess like putting it off because like I could just do this like at any time. You know what I'm saying? Like I could pick it up at any time. So I guess I'm more of someone who like puts off things, and I'm someone who always thinks like it'll always be there, or I can always go back to it and do it. You know what I'm saying? And I need to stop doing that because like some things I need to start now, not later. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say like I'm lazy, but I do get what you're saying. Yeah, sometimes smoking will enhance that like laziness and make you even more lazy. I know what you're saying. All right, different. Last video of this guy. Different ways of pooping. I don't know how y'all poop. I poop like a normal human being. Wiping, that's a different story. I've been told I wipe different than others. Yeah, yeah. This is a pretty, not disgusting necessarily, but a conversation, you necessarily don't want to hear. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna talk about. We'll talk about poop. But yeah, I poop normally like a regular person. I didn't realize there was like multiple ways of pooping. Like I know sometimes when you poop, that shit makes you like bend over and you're like over there struggling on the toilet. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, different ways of pooping.
Okay, you know how everyone has some story of something stupid they did as a kid? Like for most people, it's like, I thought Play Doh was real food and I ate some, haha, silly me. Well, I was a special kind of stupid, and I'm pretty sure I might be the only kid to ever do this. So, from the time when I was first able to take a poop all by myself until I was about 5 or 6 years old, I had my own unique, special way of wiping me bum. And you know how from the ages of like 0 to 2 or something like that, your parents just wipe your butt for you. But then one day they're just like, all right, it's time, go wipe your butt by yourself. And so I can't really remember exactly how it started, but here's what I would do. So I'd take a poop, and then after I was done with the pooping part, I would climb up onto the sink counter, get into a nice straddle stance, and then bend over, look between my legs directly at my butthole in the mirror, and then wipe my ass.
Yo, I can only imagine how crazy that is, bro. This man all climbed up on the counter, put his ass in the mirror, and ran some water through his ass. You just need a bidet at that point, bro. You just need a bidet. I want a bidet so bad, bro. I want a bidet. When I get like my house, and like I get like an actual house that like I'm going to be in for a couple years, I want a bidet in that shit, bro. Because I feel like that's like so much more convenient and so much more easier, and like it actually like gets you clean. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that like my underwear got like skin marks and shit like that. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying I feel like a bidet, it just like it actually like gets you clean and it's just like more convenient. But I like want one when I get in my house and I'm gonna be in for a few years. I want a bidet in that bitch for sure.
Look between my legs directly at my butthole in the mirror, and then wipe my ass. This is
crazy,
now, the reason I did this was because in my mind, how the hell am I supposed to know whether my butthole still has poop on it or not?
See, that's the thing. When you're wiping, sometimes you think, I got it all, but, you really didn't. But with a bidet, you really got it all. You know what I'm saying? So I want a bidet so bad. I want that shit to just shoot straight up my ass. Right up in there.
Pull through a mirror. But apparently that's not how everyone else does it. So, I've kind of had to change my ways so I can fit in with normal society. But back when I was a little kid and that's how I took shits, I just kind of figured that's how everyone else does it. Because look, man, when you're like a really little kid, you just kind of assume that other people do things the same way that you do them. You don't really have a concept of other people being their own person
That's a
and
fact.
having their own unique
That's a
thoughts
fact.
and ways of doing things. So I really just figured it was normal. So with that being said, thinking that was how everyone else did it, I
Most
remember
definitely
being
not.
freaked the fuck out about public bathrooms. Because in my mind, it's like, okay, they have a mirror in pretty much all public
No. Please don't tell me this man tried this shit in a public bathroom, bro. I get you was a kid at the time, but still, doing this in a public bathroom is. Yo, just imagine going to a public bathroom and some little ass kid is standing on the sink, spreading their ass cheeks, letting water just flow through it. That shit. Yo, that shit would be so funny, bro. Real shit.
But there's other people in there. So I just figured, like, damn, other people really just take shits, leave the stall, climb up onto the sink, bend over, and look at their butthole in the mirror while other people are in there. That's fucking weird. So I just avoided taking shits in public restrooms for years. That is, until something happened that shattered my preconceived notions of how you're supposed to poop. So one day, me and my older brother are at my grandma's house, and I'm taking a shit. So, I finish pooping, climb up onto the sink, as usual, but I forgot to lock the door. No biggie, I think to myself. If someone walks in, it's not like they're gonna be surprised to see a little kid looking directly at his spread butt cheeks in the mirror while wiping his ass. Everyone poops like this. And so right as I'm thinking this, my brother just happens to walk in, and he catches me brown-handed, if you know what I'm saying, fully bent over, toilet paper in my hand. We make eye contact, and he just goes, that's not how other people poop, right? I'm a deer in the headlights. I'm like, what? And he's like, that's not how you're supposed to poop. My mind was blown. My whole life was a lie. Not
that's
how I'm supposed
crazy.
to poop. What does that even mean? There's a different way to do this? And so I'm trying to get some more information out of my brother. I'm like, that can't be right. How can other people know if they got all the poop off their butthole unless they actually look at their butthole? And he's like, dude, they just look at their toilet paper, and when there's no poop left, they know they're done. It's not computing for me. And my brother just starts cracking up because he's realizing that I've been doing this the past few years without anyone else noticing. But he assures me, nope, no one else wipes their butt like that. I'm the only one. And then he just leaves. And I actually remember later that day, he tried to mention it to my mom. He was like, I saw him standing on the sink counter looking at his butthole while he wiped. And I think my mom just thought it was like some random bullshit my brother was making up just to fuck with me. Because she just kind of blew it off like, nobody stands on a sink to wipe their butt. What are you, crazy? What kind of idiot would do that? Quit teasing your brother. But honestly, thank God that happened. I was the type of dumbass who would have just started
Getting up on
public
the
elementary
sink
school,
and
I would have just
crazy.
climbed onto the sink and looked at my butthole in the mirror with other people around. But look, I want to know if I'm the only one who did this.
Yes.
There has to be at least one other idiot out there who did this as a kid.
One took a shit and climbed up on the sink, spread their ass cheeks, and let water flow through their butthole. No one, bro. What if he never got caught? I don't know, bro. He'd still be doing it. Probably, bro. He probably, like you said, he didn't, go to public restrooms as a kid because, he didn't want to do it in public. But, I feel like one day he just wouldn't be like, fuck it, I'm doing it. And he would have done it in a public restroom. And everybody wouldn't be like, what the fuck is this little ass kid doing? And then he finally would have learned, oh, this isn't how we wipe our ass. Oh, gotcha. But, bro, what the fuck? No one does that, bro. Bro said, let me know in the comments if anyone else has done this. No, bro. No one has climbed up on the sink, spread their ass cheeks, and let water flow through their butt just to get their ass clean, bro. No one.
So please, if you did this, or if you had your own weird way of pooping when you were a kid, drop a comment. I'm hoping we can have a civil discussion about this topic.
I don't think we can. But he did say, what is, I don't think I had a weird thing that I did that I thought, other people did. I don't think so. I'm trying to think. Because, as a little kid, you really don't have, you really don't comprehend that like everybody has like their own life and everybody does things differently. You know what I'm saying? Like some things, a lot of us do the same. Like putting on pants, one leg at a time. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of us do a lot of things differently. So as a kid, you really don't comprehend that like other people have different lives and do different things. But like as a kid, I feel like you should know how to wipe your ass, and you should realize that hey, maybe not everyone wipes their ass this way. You know what I'm saying? But you're a kid and you don't know any better, so can't really blame you. But yeah, that was that video for most.